Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays foundation stone and dedicates various developmental projects worth about 50,000 crore rupees in Karnataka and Maharashtra. Nearly 71,000 newly inducted recruits in government departments to be given appointment letters by Prime Minister via video conferencing tomorrow under Rozgar program. India is taking synchronized policy action to develop low-carbon ecosystem, says New and Renewable Energy Minister R Singh at World Economic Forum in Davos. New Delhi condemns and takes up vandalism of Hindu temples with Australian government. And in FIH Hockey Men's World Cup, match between India and Wales underway at Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid foundation stones of and dedicated various developmental projects worth about 50,000 crore rupees in Karnataka and Maharashtra today. Speaking at a ceremony in Mumbai this evening, he said the government is focusing on developing India's physical and social infrastructure with futuristic thinking and a modern approach in mind. Addressing a rally at the MMRDA grounds at Bandra Kurla complex in Mumbai, after inaugurating and laying the foundation stones of projects worth nearly 40,000 crore rupees, Mr. Modi said BJP and the NDA have never created hurdles in the path of developmental works. He reassured the people of Mumbai that there is no scarcity of funds for developmental works in the city. Mr. Modi said funds allocated for such works should be used appropriately. The Prime Minister green-flagged the direct benefit transfer of approved loans of over 1 lakh beneficiaries in Mumbai. He urged beneficiaries to adopt digital mode of transaction. Mr. Modi also gave away Swanidhi certificates to hawkers. Launching the much-awaited Phase 2 of Mumbai Metro Rail Lines 2A and 7 and laying the foundation stone for the redevelopment of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus, Mr. Modi said the government aims to ease travel for each and every citizen.
आज देश भर में रेलवे को आधुनिक बनाने के लिए मिशन मोड पर काम चल रहा है। मुंबई लोकल और महाराष्ट्र की रेल कनेक्टिविटी को भी इससे फायदा हो रहा है। डबल इंजन सरकार सामान्य मानवी को भी वही आधुनिक सुविधा, वही साफ सफाई, उसी तेज रफ्तार का अनुभव देना चाहती है जो कभी साधन संपन्न लोगों को ही मिलती थी.
Mr. Modi laid the foundation stone for the redevelopment of 3 hospitals with a combined capacity of 872 beds. He also inaugurated 20 Hindu Hriday Samrat Balasaheb Thackeray Apla Dawakhanas. The Prime Minister also laid the foundation stone of 7 sewage treatment plants that will be built in Mumbai at a cost of around 17,200 crore rupees. In Karnataka, the Prime Minister declared Banjara Tandas as revenue villages at a function in Malkhed village of Kalburgi district. Speaking on the occasion, he pointed out that the decision to convert Tandas into revenue villages was taken in 1993, but since then all the previous governments deprived the community and made them wait for so long. By giving the revenue village status to the Tandas of Banjaras, the inhabitants will now get basic infrastructure like water, electricity, toilets and houses under several welfare schemes. Mr. Modi said the empowerment and welfare of deprived sections of society has been the government's priority. The Prime Minister also launched the distribution of title deeds for the houses of the Banjara and Lambani communities. In total, 52,072 title deeds were given to the community living in over 3,000 tandas in the districts of Kalburgi, Vijaypura, Yadgir and Raichur.
50,000 से अधिक परिवारों को पहली बार उनके घर, उनकी रिहाइश का हक मिला, हक्कू पत्र मिला है. ये कर्नाटका में तांडा बस्तियों में रहने वाले हजारों साथियों, गुमन परिवारों के बेटे बेटियों के उज्जवल भविष्य को सुनिश्चित करने वाला है.
Earlier in the day, Mr. Modi inaugurated the Narayanpur Left Bank Canal with a modern irrigation system at Yadgir in North Karnataka. The project is implemented at a cost of 4,699 crore rupees. It will help irrigate over 5 lakh hectares in the backward regions of Yadgir, Raichur and Kalburgi. The Prime Minister also laid the foundation stone of 4 other road and multi-village drinking water projects worth 10,863 crore rupees. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will distribute nearly 71,000 appointment letters to newly inducted recruits in government departments and organizations through video conferencing tomorrow. He will also address the appointees on the occasion. The new recruits and selected candidates from across the country will join various positions and posts under the Government of India like junior engineers, loco pilots, technicians, inspectors, sub-inspectors, constables, stenographers, junior accountants, Gramin Dak Sevak, income tax inspectors, teachers, nurses, doctors and social security officers, among others. The PMO said the Rozgar Mela is a step towards fulfillment of the Prime Minister's commitment to accord the highest priority to employment generation. It said the experience of newly inducted officials in learning from the Karmayogi Prarambh module will also be shared during the Rozgar program. The Karmayogi Prarambh module is an online orientation course for all new appointees in various government departments. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will attend a 3-day conference of the Directors General of Police of all states and the Central Armed Police Force. Official sources confirmed that the annual conference will be held in New Delhi from tomorrow till the 22nd of this month. Union Minister of State for Health, Bharti Praveen Pawar, has said India's aim during the G20 presidency is to accelerate efforts towards increasing the pace of implementation of value-based healthcare and achieving the goal of universal health coverage across the world. The minister was speaking at the inaugural session on medical value travel on the sidelines of the first Health Working Group meeting under the G20 India presidency in Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala today. More from our correspondent.
Mrs. Pawar said that Health Services for India is a field of selfless service. The Union Minister explained about India's delivery of anti-COVID drugs to 101 countries through Vaccine Maitri mission. The minister also said that G20 presidency is a great opportunity for India in this period when the country has entered into a golden age. On the second day of the G20 Health Working Group meeting, discussions on international travel for medical purposes and the synergy of various treatment methods, including Ayurveda, were held today. The delegates visited Jan Aushadhi Kendras and Kim's Hospital in Thiruvananthapuram today afternoon. The 3-day G20 Health Working Group meeting will conclude tomorrow. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. India has strongly condemned the reported vandalism of Hindu temples in Australia. Briefing media in New Delhi today, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said India is aware that a couple of temples have recently been vandalized in Australia. He said the matter has been taken up with the Australian government.
We strongly condemn these such actions. These actions have also been publicly condemned by Australian leaders, community leaders and I think religious associations there. Our Consulate General in Melbourne has taken up the matter with the local police. We have requested expeditious investigation, action against the perpetrators and of course measures to prevent such incidents in future. The matter has also been taken up with the Australian government both in Canberra and in New Delhi and we are looking forward to the action that we've requested.
The spokesperson condemned the BBC documentary on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, terming it as a propaganda piece and an effort to push the discredited narrative. He said the bias, lack of objectivity and continuing colonial mindset are blatantly visible. Mr. Bagchi said the documentary is a reflection on the agency and individuals that are promoting this narrative. He expressed wonder over the purpose of this exercise and the agenda behind it. The spokesperson informed that the third Atal Bihari Vajpayee Memorial Lecture will be held on the 23rd of this month. He said External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will preside over the event. India is taking synchronized policy action to develop a low-carbon ecosystem in the energy sector. This was stated by Minister of Power and New and Renewable Energy R. Singh while speaking at the country's strategy dialogue organized by the World Economic Forum in Davos today. Mr. Singh highlighted India's achievements in the power and renewable energy sectors. He described India's roadmap for green hydrogen and 500 renewable energy capacity by 2030. Mr. Singh also talked about round-the-clock renewal of energy power, transmission augmentation and investment opportunities in these areas. The minister said India strongly placed the policy action being taken to reduce carbon emissions under India's voluntary commitment. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar reached Colombo today. The visit to the island nation comes at a crucial time. Sri Lanka has been making efforts to obtain an extended fund facility from the International Monetary Fund. Dr. Jaishankar is scheduled to meet the Sri Lankan leadership and hold discussions with Foreign Minister Ali Sabri. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla today informed that India will hold the P20 conference of Parliament Speakers of the G20 nations this year. He said as the world's largest democracy, India will try to effectively resolve global issues through this platform. Holding a meeting with Tanzania's Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa today, Mr. Birla called for joint efforts to address global issues such as climate change. He lauded the Indian community in Tanzania for their contribution to Tanzania's economic development. Mr. Birla met the members of the Indian business community and apprised them of the enabling business environment being provided by the Indian government. In Afghanistan, at least 70 people have died from cold amidst a freezing winter that swept the country. Quoting Afghanistan State Ministry for Disasters Management, Tolo News reported that over 70,000 livestock have also died due to the harsh winter. According to the report, people have termed the freezing weather conditions as unprecedented, while blaming poverty and unemployment for the rise in casualties. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has shared a compilation on the role of parents during exam preparation from the Exam Warriors book. Sharing a tweet on his blog, the Prime Minister said over the years, Pariksha Pe Charcha has also presented parents with an opportunity to learn about the latest trends in education and gain a better understanding of the challenges their children face. The Prime Minister will interact with students, teachers and parents in the 6th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha on the 27th of this month. In Kerala, the Higher Education Department has issued an official order allowing menstrual leave in all universities under it. State Higher Education Minister R. Bindu said maternity leave up to a maximum of 60 days has been granted to female students who have reached the age of 18. In the FIH Hockey Men's World Cup, India defeated Wales 4-2 at the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar today. At half-time, India was leading 2-0. Earlier, while England beat Spain 4-0, the Netherlands trounced Chile 14-0. Malaysia beat New Zealand 3-2. In points table of Pool D, India is in second position with 7 points. In table tennis, Indian mixed doubles duo of G. Satyan and Manika Batra stormed into the WTT contender semi-finals with a 3-0 win over world number 9 Spanish pair of Maria Xiao and Alvaro Robles in Doha today. Continuing its splendid run, the Indian duo took less than 24 minutes to wrap the proceedings 11-9, 11-9, 11-5 and set up a last four clash against Lim Jong-hoon and Shin Yu-bin, the world number 20 duo from Korea. Satyan and Manika had won a silver at the WTT contender Nova Gorica in Slovenia last November. In badminton, India's Lakshya Sen lost to Denmark's Rasmus Gemke in a round of 16 fixture to exit the India Open tournament in New Delhi today. Lakshya dominated the early proceeding and won the first game 21-16, but the Dane fought back bravely in the second game 21-15, setting up a nervy final game where he won 21-18. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays foundation stone and dedicates various developmental projects worth about 50,000 crore rupees in Karnataka and Maharashtra. Nearly 71,000 newly inducted recruits in government departments to be given appointment letters by Prime Minister via video conferencing tomorrow under Rozgar program. India is taking synchronized policy action to develop low-carbon ecosystem, says New and Renewable Energy Minister R. Singh at World Economic Forum in Davos. New Delhi condemns and takes up vandalism of Hindu temples with Australian government. And in FIH Hockey Men's World Cup, India beat Wales 4-2 at Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.